nothing compares to having you close. True intimacy is my desire. To catch your whispers, to carry your fire. You're my ambition, my destination. More than living, more than breathing, you're the reason my heart's beating. There's nothing greater than knowing you. You unlock my joy,
So natural.
you awaken my soul. Oh, forever I'm yours, God. Forever you're mine. A wonderful truth that you are my life. You're my ambition, my soul's true mission. More than living, more than breathing, you're the reason my heart's beating. So I'm giving, freely yielding. You're the reason my heart's beating. There's nothing greater than knowing you. There's nothing greater than knowing you. There's nothing greater than knowing.
Something more than age and wages tell you where you are. Let's get married. Whoa. 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 Let's get married. Whoa. We're gonna get married. Whoa. Let's get married. Whoa. Whoa. Let's get married. Whoa. We're gonna get married. Whoa. We're gonna get married. Whoa. Whoa. Let's get married. Whoa. Going to the church to get married. Whoa. Just can't wait to get married. Whoa.
She got it.
Whoa.
Today is a worship gathering. It's a worship service. We come to stand not just before a crowd of people, but before God in reverence for what He has done in your life. Today, as we'll see, is a picture of the gospel. Today is a picture of the fact that Christ has extended grace to you. God has extended grace to you through Christ so that you may be reconciled to God, but also to one another. Who gives this woman to be married to this man? All right, you guys can be seated. All right, well, now it's time to exchange your vows and make your commitment to one another. You guys ready to do that? Yeah. Are you sure? All right, good. You know, these vows are promises being made, Ben and Neva, as you covenant together today. They're not sentimental sayings, they're not traditional quips. They're significant commitments that you're making to one another today as a husband and a wife. So why don't you hold both hands and face one another as you make these vows. Look at one another and remember this moment. Because see, before this moment, you've been many things to each other. You've been acquaintances, you've been friends, you've been companions, even teachers as you've learned from one another. But now, you're going to make promises to one another that will push you across a new threshold of life where things will never quite be the same between you. See, after you make these covenant vows, you will say to the world, this is my husband, this is my wife. So Ben, we'll start with you. Please repeat after me as you make your vows to Neva. I, Ben, covenant with you, Neva,
I, Ben, covenant with you, Neva,
to be your husband, friend, lover, and father of our children.
to be your husband, friend, lover, and father of our children,
In times of plenty and times of want,
in times of plenty and in times of want,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in times of joy and sorrow.
in times of joy and sorrow.
I will, by God's grace, keep this vow.
I will, by God's grace, keep this vow.
Forsaking all others, I choose you as God's provision for me.
Forsaking all others, I choose you as God's provision.
I will love and serve you,
I will love and serve you,
placing your needs above my own.
placing your needs above my own.
Provide for you, protect you, and lead you
Provide for you, protect you, and lead you,
as Christ does the church.
as Christ does the church.
I will make Christ first in my life and in our marriage.
I will make Christ first in my life and first in our marriage.
Come what may, I will always be here.
Come what may, I will always be with
As I have given you my hands to hold, so I give you my life to keep.
you. As I have given you my hands to hold, so I give you my life.
Neva, it's your turn. You can repeat after me as you make your vows to Ben. I, Neva, covenant with you, Ben,
I, Neva, covenant with you, Ben,
to be your wife, friend, lover, and mother of our children.
to be your wife, friend, lover, and mother of our children,
In times of plenty and times of want,
in times of plenty and in times of want,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in times of joy and sorrow.
in times of joy and sorrow.
I will, by God's grace, keep this vow.
I will, by God's grace, keep this vow.
Forsaking all others, I choose you as God's provision for me.
Forsaking all others, I choose you as God's provision for me.
I will love and serve you, placing your needs above my own.
I will love and serve you, placing your needs above my own.
Follow and trust you
Follow and trust you,
as the church does
as
Christ.
the church does Christ.
I will make Christ first in my life and in our marriage.
I will make Christ first in my life and in our marriage.
Come what may, I will always be here.
Come what may, I will always be here.
As I have given you my hands to hold, so I give you my life to keep.
As I have given you my hands to hold, so I give you my life to keep.
Now together, both of you repeat this with me. These vows we make before God and man.
These vows we make before God and man.
With you as our witnesses,
With you as our witnesses,
we are bound together.
we are bound together.
May nothing but death or the return of Jesus separate us.
May nothing but death or the return of Jesus separate us.
Amen. May I have the rings? You know, these rings are not just some new fancy jewelry. These rings are also a symbol, and they're an important symbol. It's a symbol of your faithfulness to one another, the purity of your relationship, and the covenant you've made with one another today. And they really serve two purposes. It's a reminder to each of you of the commitment that you've made to each other, and a reminder of the commitment that's been made to you. But they also serve as a no trespassing sign to everyone else, that you have committed faithfully to another person, as your husband or as your wife. So Ben, please take this ring, and take Neva's left hand, and repeat after me. I, Ben, take you, Neva, as my wife.
I, Ben, take you, Neva, as my wife.
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol and pledge of my love and faithfulness to you.
as a symbol and pledge of my faithfulness to you.
As we enter into this covenant of marriage
As we enter into this covenant of marriage
before God and these witnesses,
before God and these witnesses,
I acknowledge my need for God's grace
I acknowledge my need for God's grace
as we journey through this life as one.
as we journey through this life.
This ring is a reminder to you
This ring is a reminder to you
and to me
and to me
of the promise I have made.
of the promise I have made.
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory.
Amen. Neva, you can take Ben's ring in his left hand and repeat after me. I, Neva, take you, Ben, as my husband.
I, Neva, take you, Ben, as my husband.
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol and pledge of my love and faithfulness to you.
as a symbol and pledge of my love and faithfulness to you.
As we enter into this covenant of marriage
As we enter into this covenant of marriage
before God and these witnesses,
before God and His witnesses,
I acknowledge my need for God's grace
I acknowledge my need for God's grace
as we journey through this life as one.
Journey through this life as one.
This ring is a reminder to you
This ring is a reminder to you
and to me
and to me
of the promise I have made.
of the promise I've made.
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory.
Amen. Well, for as much as you, Ben, and you, Neva, have covenanted together today, after God's holy ordinance of marriage and the foundation of the gospel, and have pledged your faith and love to each other in the presence of God and these witnesses, now, by the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia and as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, I pronounce you husband and wife. What God has joined together, let no man separate. Ben, you may kiss your wife. Friends and family, I am pleased to introduce to you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin Hine.
You're my unfathomable, precious, unimaginable joy. You're exceedingly exciting and abundant.
Anything you want to say to the bride and groom?
I just find it very curious that Ben Hine would pick International Bacon Day as his wedding day.
Oh, yeah.
Just let that be said,
Okay.
Neva.
All right.
He will never, ever forget your anniversary day. So you have a good man, and he's very wise, and you got to keep her. So
Okay.
God bless you all.
Okay. Excellent. Go ahead. Anything, any wisdom you'd like to dispense to the bride and groom?
Well, first of all, congratulations. Today was very beautiful. You've already made a great decision to choose each other for the rest of your life and to choose me to stand up there with you because I'm
Yeah, that
pretty
is
awesome.
that is a quality decision.
Love, respect each other. Always err on the side of caution, Ben. If you're unsure, you're probably wrong. You can go with that.
Amen.
Get a second TV. That's a lifesaver. All right. Best of luck.
All right. Excellent. And last but not least,
All right, Ben, Neva, I just want you both to know that I love you guys, and I want to pass on that just because you're married, you still need to be people, and remember to find time to pursue the things that you love and grow in that as you're growing each other, and just have fun today and have fun with the rest of your lives because you guys are perfect together, and it's amazing. I love you both.
excellent.
Let's see, what am I going to say to Ben and Neva? So much to say, so little time. So I'd like to say I love you both. Remember, if you need anything, I'm always here for you guys. Remember to keep Christ first in your relationship, in your marriage. Thank you for being such great friends, for introducing Bo into my life. Pre-Bo life was pretty bad. I love you guys, and don't forget about a brother. All right?
And we also want to introduce the groommen at this point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, this is Mr. Neva and Ben Hine. Give it up for them.
My love stands on golden sand. She watches the ships that go sailing somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere watching me. If I could fly like birds on high, straight to your arms, I'd go sailing somewhere beyond the sea. Well, she's there me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to your arms I'd go sailing. But far beyond the stars, and it's clear beyond the moon. And I know beyond the doubt, my will lead me there soon. And we'll meet, I know we'll meet beyond the shore, and kiss just before. And you'll be beyond the sea, and never again I will see. Say amen. Beyond the doubt, if I will lead me there soon. And me, I know me beyond the shore, and we'll kiss just before. And we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I will see. No more standing, bye-bye. So long. And it's far. Give it up for Ben and Neva. We got another special song.
It still feels like yesterday, a lifetime of empty days. My hungry heart was desperate for me. I feasted on the bread of life. Forgiveness pierced me like a knife. Your breath filled up my lungs and I could feel. I was broken and all I could say was if I ever needed grace, it's now. You are strong when I am weak somehow. Yeah, I am weak enough to see I need you to cover me if I ever
Today we stand in a new beginning as Neva and Ben start a brand new family. They're probably filled with feelings of being a little overwhelmed at it all, but those feelings will melt away in large part as they anticipate their new life together and as they build a relationship that will stand the test of time. Ben and Neva, be true to each other always. Share your joys and your burdens. Love much and laugh much. Be each other's best friend. Always speak well of one another, even in private. And when things don't go well, forgive as often as is required. Married life is an adventure, and you embark today on that adventure together. Even though you are individuals, your covenant today makes the couple more important than either of you separately. So today, your friends and family surround you as you begin something new and marvelous. Remember your promises. Keep them with all your heart, and you will have the same sense of joy and wonder that exceeds all you have heretofore known. I'd like to share a poem by E. Larson that Melanie's dad ended his toast with at our wedding. May you always have an angel by your side, watching out for all the things you do, reminding you to keep believing in brighter days, finding ways for your wishes and dreams to take you to beautiful places, giving you the hope that was certain as the sun, giving the strength of serenity as your guide. May you always have love and comfort and courage, and may you always have an angel by your side. Melanie and I offer you our congratulations on this great day and start of something wonderful. Ben and Neva.
So for those of you who know, my name's Josh. I am supposedly the chief groomsman, and as such, it is my responsibility to talk to you guys a little bit about, specifically about Ben Hine, although I'm very excited to have you joining him. I think this is going to be a beautiful relationship that's going to stand the test of time. I'm very excited about it. I first met Ben Hine back in college at JMU. We were both sophomores, and we bonded over hitting things in video games. We were both members of the Taekwondo club, and that was a huge part of our lives, and video games was a part of our lives that was, you know, a hobby. And to kind of really talk about what college was like for us, because, you know, you stand before Ben Hine today, and he's a different guy. He is God-centered, he's God-loving. Spend 5 minutes talking to him, and you will get that. That's not even a challenge. You're going to see it. It's going to ooze out of him, and it's amazing to see. But in college, we were kind of just kids. And there was a night in particular. I'll tell one story, just one. He asked me to not go into too much detail. We had a video game in particular that we really enjoyed playing. Hi, Ben. And we stood up at midnight, like the good little nerds that we were, and went in line with all the other nerds in town, and we got our grubby little mitts on copies of the game, came back to my apartment rather. We set up Gamer Command headquarters. We played that game for like 7 hours straight, ate junk food, and it was a great night. Now, the part that kind of makes it epitomize college was at 8 a.m. the next day was off-campus Taekwondo club practice. We showed up basically on our feet dead, and it was just a bad, bad day. To kind of close that off, to describe it, I want to evoke the immortal words of Celine Dion. There were things that I would never do again, but then they'd always seemed right. For those of you who don't know, Ben Hine and I will actually ballad that to each other at the drop of a hat. That's true. We're not going to do it tonight because we're going to save your eardrums that pain, but it's special, guys. It's very special. All good times like that end though. Like our conversations at that point were very shallow. We were good friends, but we didn't have a deep friendship yet. We talked about things like, hey man, that was a nice punch, or hey man, I got some fat loot to that raid last night, or along that line. It wasn't deep, it wasn't meaningful yet. He went away because he actually graduated a year, he graduated on time. I did not. Not for the reasons that you think, whatever. So he graduated, he moved out, and he was being his own man, he was out there, he was working, and he was in the space that was filled previously with kind of time-wasting activities. He was starting to reconnect with his faith. And he would come back and visit, and our conversations would be dramatically different. I didn't know what to do with it, because he's talking about God, and I'm talking about video games, and it didn't make sense to me. I wanted nothing to do with this faith that he'd found. And honestly, our friendship suffered for a while there. Fast forward a little bit, I graduate finally, and he's working for the same company that I'm working for, and we decided to move in together and be roommates. The caveat was that small group would meet in our apartment. Members of the small group, if you want to just, raise up a little bit. And through that small group and through God working through Ben Hine, I was changed. My heart was changed. And it is a testament to how God works through the people that worship Him and the people that pay homage to Him, that He was able to work through Ben, and He was able to change my heart. And that for me defines my friendship with Ben Hine right now, as it stands. And I just challenge everybody to look at Ben and Neva and the relationship they built that is God-centered and God-loving, God-focused, and see that as the example that it is. I just want to wish you guys all the love in the world and all of the luck in the world as you continue on this journey you started on. So, to Ben and Neva.
My name is Burdette. I'm Neva's younger sister. Thank you to Neva and Ben for hosting us all here in Virginia. It's really good to see the Geblines I haven't seen in a while, and to meet some of Ben's family. Ben, welcome to the family. We already have a lot of siblings, so what's one more? I appreciate that you show my sister so much love, and she really feels that, and I can see so much love between you two, and it means a lot. I knew when she told me about the Burt CDs and invitation to coffee that this was the start of something special. I think that was Christmas 2 years ago? Okay. Congratulations to my beautiful sister Neva. I've always looked up to you so much. When we were young, if Neva's favorite color was red, my favorite color became red too. I love your poise and intelligence, your beauty, and so much substance behind that beauty. I'm grateful to have you as a sister, and I'm so happy that you have Ben to love and care for these qualities that I love so much in you. Today you embark on this great adventure, and there's so much joy and excitement to be had. And congratulations to Neva and Ben. Love you so much. Cheers.